What's up guys, Chris here with Strength and Steel Reviews, and this is episode 7 of me building out my dream home gym. I've got 2 new pieces of home gym equipment to show you. The first lies right beside me, and if you know what it is already, you're a real one. The second one is nowhere to be seen, but I can see it, and I'm excited to show it to you. Let's get right to the episode. All right, so the epic episodic series continues forth. I'm pleased, I know you are too. Now, for any of you that have been keeping up with this epic episodic series, you know that I love hyperextensions, and that before I had this piece, whatever it is, I had a cheap hyperextension that I purchased off of Amazon. It was a temporary fix. I knew that I would need something much better to invest in the long term. So, seeking ideas in that episode, I asked for your help, and I got a lot of help. I conducted some of my own research in conjunction with many of your suggestions, and I came down to 2 feasible options. The first one was the Nordic Pro, and the second was Tib Bar Guy's Nordic back extension machine, the version 3 edition. And that is the one I ultimately settled upon, the one that lies right here. Now, for any of you that are new here, I used to live in North Carolina, and there I had the Freak Athlete Hyper Pro. It's a great machine. It can do so many different things, but for me, it was a few too many things. I found that I didn't really use most of those functions, so I wanted a machine that would primarily utilize the functions that I frequent. And the functions that I frequent are pretty much a Nordic curl and a hyper extension. Those are the 2 big ones. Anything else to me is a benefit. And I like an easy setup process. I like simplicity. I actually work out. I review home gym equipment because I love working out. Not just to bust out some affiliate link to make money off you guys, and certainly not to clutter this gym because, as I've said before, I like a clean, organized space. Having this channel to review home gym equipment is nice, but I just love working out. And for me to work out, to enjoy coming out here, I need this space clean. And one of the parts I've come to realize of owning a home gym is the same thing with anything. You learn from your mistakes. And for me, with my training setup and my preferences, I didn't really need a piece of equipment that performed a lot of functions, that added to my setup time and made me less likely to use the actual machine. Because for me, the more steps that I have to take to use the machine, the less likely that I'm going to use it. So after conducting my research on the V3, on the Tib Bar Guy's Nordic back extension machine V3, which I read off my phone to ensure that I would remember it right before saying this right now, I discovered this was exactly what I was looking for. It's simple. Right now I've got it set up for the back extension. You just tuck right in and you get to work. It's definitely a good piece. I wouldn't say I've spent enough time with it to offer you a full review, but off the bat, man, the cushion is great. The padding is really nice. There's all this free space for me to maneuver, because obviously when I do back extensions, I'm very florid and expressive. I don't know how you guys do them. This is how I do them. But ultimately, it's great. And again, I'm just using it for 2 pieces. And to set up the Nordic curl, for any of you that are unfamiliar, all you have to do is slide this pad up and you tuck the secondary pad right where it belongs. I guess I'll show you real quick. All right, remember, this doesn't constitute as a review, so don't hold me accountable for anything. That said, if you've used this machine and you like it and or don't like it, let me know in the comments. Okay, so to set it up, you're just gonna slide this pad up as I get to the right side. And you can't see, but I've actually made a little Sharpie marker here so I know where to stop every time. And then this just secures just down below via this pop pin, and you're good. And you can modify the incline of the Nordic curl. So generally, Nordic curls are extremely hard to do. So you want to start off with a steeper incline, you want to focus on the eccentric movement. This enables you to do that. And because the pad is very long, you're really less afraid of banging your head against the floor. So usually you'll start off with an incline, you'll focus on the eccentric, and you'll continue to lower it. Now I think I can do 1 Nordic curl. I used to be able to do 8, but it's been so many months off. So I guess since we're on camera, we'll give it a shot. I have an excuse in the pipeline, but I'm gonna keep it to myself in case I pull this off. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to reveal the excuse. Either I can do it or I can't. How noble. Aragorn would be proud. All right, look, no hands, ma. Yeah, 1. Back in North Carolina, I was able to do 8. But this pad, super comfortable, really nice. The only complaint I have so far is that it's a little long. I was kind of into the Shogun Nordic because, I think that's what it's called, because I thought it was shorter, which would enable easier travel to my Mikolo Towerette, but it's a little bit longer. That's okay. You can also stand this thing upright, which is excellent. I will reveal all of that in a complete review once I've had more time with it. But so far, I'm really liking it. To any of you that had recommended this to me, good on ya. This is why I listen to you guys. Not always, but often enough. And in this case, we struck gold together. All right, the second piece is pretty magnificent, and I'm kind of disappointed that it isn't staying around, but there is something shinier, brighter, and hopefully more effective on its way. Anyway, let me show it to you. All right, and here's piece number 2. So if you can't tell, it's a leg press hack squat combination machine. This one is made by Lionscool, and it is way better than I thought it would be. And that is no BS. I mean, if you haven't spent enough time here, maybe you don't know that about me, but especially the further I move into my time as a YouTube channel or whatever, the more honest I'm getting, the less I care about pleasing anyone. And this is one of those moments where I can speak so easily and so candidly. This machine is fantastic. Previously, I had the Mikolo DD09. Before that, I had the RitFit Gazelle Pro. I've only had 3 of these machines. I've said it before, I don't like reviewing big pieces because they take up so much space in this gym, and also I hate assembling equipment. And the bigger the piece, the more time it takes. But more importantly, the more space it takes. I like my home gym clean, I won't say it again. But in this case, I knew that I was getting the Quad Send by Temple of Gains delivered, I mean, sooner than I expected. And Lionscool reached out to me, they sent this to me for free. They said they would. I was skeptical, I was hesitant, but I was like, you know what? I could squeeze in one more big review of a leg press hack squat combination machine, because once I get the Quad Send in, that ain't going anywhere, and I won't be reviewing another one of these for a while, because again, that piece isn't going anywhere, and that piece takes up a whole lot of space. So I didn't really know what to expect when I received it. The Mikolo DD09 was actually pretty good. The more time I spent with it, the more I came to appreciate it and respect it. It gave me a full range of motion on hack squats, which is one of my favorite movements for the lower body, but it was nowhere near as sturdy and as capable as this machine. This thing is fantastic. This is not a full review. I mean, I'm gonna have to crank out that review in a few weeks, depending on when they ship the Quad Send. Obviously, I'll be totally honest and transparent there. I won't have had it for months or years, or I won't dare to pretend like I have, which some reviewers do. But I've spent enough time with leg presses and hack squats at commercial gyms and at home to know what's good and what isn't. And this is a really good price. I think it's like $100 more than the Mikolo DD09. So far, with minimal experience and minimal time spent, I would say that the hack squat is better than the leg press functionality, which seems to be a recurring pattern that I continue to encounter during my reviews of these pieces. With the hack squat, I get a full range of motion, full depth, enormous foot plate, which I absolutely love. Now the leg press functionality here is a bit different than I'm used to. There are actually 2 separate platforms, so you can train each leg unilaterally, or you can train them bilaterally. There's essentially a bolt that you can slide across to separate the platforms. It's a really cool adjustment that you can make. I haven't seen it on many home gym pieces, or really any, certainly not on any budget hack squat leg press machines. This is my first time with one, and I like the function. But yeah, so far, this Lionscool hack squat leg press is the best one that I've reviewed, and I am going to have no problem endorsing it should things continue to be positive in the way that they have been for me thus far. I mean, even the assembly was easy, and when the assembly is easy, people, you're already on my good side. So for any companies that want to collaborate with me, it would be nice if you offered to send me equipment that didn't take me half the day to assemble. But okay, I don't want to overextend this episode. I need to respect your attention. I have to respect how epic this episodic series ultimately is. For any of you that haven't heard, I'm officially offering my personal training services to my fellow brothers in arms, anyone with minimal time, with minimal equipment, or you just have some of the strange oddities that constitute as home gym equipment. I know it all, and I know it well. I can help you track your progress, I can help you track your nutrition, and I can certainly help construct a program for you and help ensure that you follow it. If you think I can be of any assistance in doing that, click on the link below, schedule a 30-minute consultation with me. If we think we're a good fit, we can proceed. If not, I'm still honored to have you here. But okay, otherwise, any recommendations, any adjustments that you suggest I should make, let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to ensure that you're here for the completion of this epic episodic series. And you guys stay strong and you stay steely, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.